Hello students, we learn about metals and non-metals in chapter number 3. Today we will be dealing with chapter number 4, carbon and its compounds. We know that there are 118 elements known till date. Out of them, some are metals, some are non-metals and some are semi-metal or metalloids, showing the properties of both metals and non-metals. So metalloid shows properties of metals also and non-metals also. Most of the elements are useful and essential for living organism. Carbon is also one of them. Carbon is also very essential and important element. Students, if we look around, we can see almost all the things and even all living organisms are made up of carbon and its compounds. Food, clothes, medicines, books, fuel like petrol, diesel, all are made up of carbon and its compounds. Living organisms need carbohydrate, fats and proteins, nucleic acid. All these also contains carbon. So, it is most important element. Total number of carbon compounds is more than number of compounds formed by all other 117 elements. So, carbon is having huge number of its compounds. The number of carbon compounds is more than all other elements. But amount of carbon present in earth crust and atmosphere is quite less. The earth crust has only 0.02% carbon, that too in the form of minerals like carbonates, hydrogen carbonates, coal and petroleum. And atmosphere has only 0.03% of carbon in the form of carbon dioxide. Though the amount is so small, then also it is of immense importance. Then also we can see carbon and carbon compound everywhere in our day-to-day life, and even our body is also made up of carbon and its compound. So in this chapter we will know about special properties of carbon which make it so important to us. First one is bonding in carbon, the covalent bond. In chapter 3, we learn about the properties of ionic compounds. Ionic compounds are formed by losing and gaining of electron. So, metals loses the electron, non-metal gains the electron, and by that it forms ionic compound. We saw that the ionic compounds have high melting and boiling points. Ionic compounds possess strong force of attraction between oppositely charged ions. They conduct electricity in aqueous solution or in their molten state. Ionic compounds are usually solids and soluble in water. For example, NaCl. How it is formed? It is formed that sodium having atomic number 11 gives one electron to chlorine and forms sodium chloride. Now see the properties of carbon compounds, or we can also call it as covalent compounds. As we know, atoms can share, gain or lose their electrons to become stable. That means to complete their octet, atoms are showing reactivity. That they required 8 electrons in their outermost shell. For that, either they lose the electron or gain the electron or share the electron. So the compounds which are formed by gain or loss of electrons are called as electrovalent compounds or ionic compounds. For example, NaCl. Atomic number of sodium is 11. Electronic configuration is 281. And chlorine's atomic number is 17. Electronic configuration is 287. So to complete their octet, sodium octet means the 8 electrons should be there in their valence shell. So to complete the octet, sodium loses 1 electron and chlorine gains 1 electron and forms NaCl, that is an ionic compound. It will form Na plus. By losing one electron, sodium will get positive charge, and by gaining one electron, chlorine will get negative charge, and it will form a compound that is sodium chloride, NaCl. And the compounds which are formed by sharing of electrons are called as covalent compounds. Carbon compounds are covalent compounds. Covalent bond form between two non-metallic atoms. So here ionic compounds are formed between metal and non-metal. One is metal and another one is non-metal. And covalent bond is formed between two non-metallic atoms by sharing of electron between atoms of different elements. Covalent compounds have low melting point and boiling points as compared to ionic compounds because intermolecular force of attraction between the covalent compound is weak. The intramolecular force of attraction is strong, but the intermolecular force of attraction, that is force of attraction between the molecules, is not so strong. That's why covalent compounds are having low melting and boiling point. They are non-conductors of electricity because when they form covalent bond, when they share the electrons, there is no free charge or free ions present, and that's why they are bad conductor of electricity. They exist in solid, liquid and gaseous states. Covalent compounds are usually insoluble in water but soluble in organic solvents. So all these are the properties of ionic compounds and covalent compounds. Students, in 9th class we learn about valency. What is valency? It is combining capacity of various elements. Valency of an element is depend on the number of valence electrons. Valence electrons means electrons present in the outermost shell. All atoms want to achieve noble gas configuration. All atoms or all elements are showing reactivity to become stable to achieve nearest noble gas configuration. For that, all these atoms either lose electron, gain or share the electrons. Now we'll see valency of carbon. See, atomic number of carbon is 6. Its electronic configuration is 2, 4. That means in K shell it is having 2 electrons and in L shell it is having 4 electrons. Its valency is 4. So carbon has to gain 4 electron or lose the 4 electron to become stable. So to become stable, carbon requires 4 electrons. So it can attain the nearest noble gas configuration either by losing the electron or by gaining the electron. But see, if carbon gains 4 electron forming C4 minus anion, then the nucleus of carbon with 6 proton cannot hold 10 electrons. See, we know that every atom is having positively charged nucleus. So in the nucleus of carbon there are 6 protons and it is having 6 electrons, 2 in K shell and 4 in L shell. Now if carbon will gain 4 electrons, then there will be only 6 protons in the nucleus and number of electrons will increase so that the atom of carbon become unstable. The nucleus cannot hold all the 10 electrons. Also, the size of carbon atom is so small. That's why there will be repulsion between the electrons. If carbon will gain 10 electrons, so there, due to small size, there will be repulsion between electron in the carbon atom. So carbon cannot form anion, C4 minus anion. Next possibility is that it can form C4 plus cation by losing 4 electrons. But it would require large amount of energy to remove 4 electrons. because 6 protons will hold electrons strongly. So if carbon wants to lose the electron, then it will be difficult. If it will lose one electron, then there will be 6 protons and 5 electrons. So positive charge will be more and the nucleus will hold all other electrons very strongly. So it will require huge amount of energy to lose the electron. And as I told, the size of atom is small, so there is strong force of attraction between the nucleus and the orbit, and so it will require large amount of energy, and so carbon cannot lose 4 electron, cannot form cation. That's why carbon follows third method, that is sharing of electron with carbon atom or atoms of other element. Carbon can share electrons with hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur and forms compound by sharing of electrons to achieve the stable electronic configuration. So to complete its octet, it can share electron of different elements or the electron of carbon atom only. We can define covalent bonding as mutual sharing of electrons to achieve stable electronic configuration. So we can define covalent bond as the mutual sharing between the atoms of different elements. As carbon can form 4 covalent bonds, so it is called as tetravalent. We can see some examples of covalent bond formation. Simplest molecule formed by sharing of valence electron is hydrogen. Atomic number of hydrogen is 1. So it requires one more electron to fill K shell. Hydrogen don't have to complete its octet. It has to complete its duplet because it is having only one shell, that is K shell, and we know the maximum electron holding capacity of K shell is 2 electrons. Here in figure 4.1 you can see that hydrogen is having 1 electron and the stable molecule of hydrogen is H2. So one atom of hydrogen will share its 1 electron with the other atom of hydrogen, and by that it will form H2 molecule of hydrogen, and will achieve the nearest noble gas configuration like helium. If atoms share 2 electron or one pair of electron, means it forms single covalent bond. So here hydrogen molecule, to form hydrogen molecule, single covalent bond is formed. See, single covalent bond means the two atoms share 2 electrons, one of each. That means one pair of electrons means single covalent bond, 2 pair of electrons means double covalent bond, and 3 pair of electrons means triple covalent bond. Single covalent bond can be represented by line between two atoms. Here we can see H-H means here single covalent bond is present between two hydrogen atoms and it will form H2 molecule. As I told, atoms can also share 2 or 3 electron pairs. For example, oxygen. Atomic number of oxygen is 8, having electronic configuration 2, 6. This means it needs 2 more electrons to complete the octet, and so it will share 2 electrons from other oxygen atom. We can see in the diagram that 2 electrons of one oxygen atom are shared by 2 electrons of other oxygen atom, and by that it forms double covalent bond. So here we can see double covalent bond between the oxygen atom. Nitrogen forms triple covalent bond by sharing 3 electron pair. So the atomic number of nitrogen is 7. Its electronic configuration is 2, 5. That means it requires 3 more electrons to complete the octet and to achieve nearest noble gas configuration. For this, each nitrogen atom shares 3 electrons, that is 3 shared pair of electrons. This forms triple bond between two atoms of nitrogen. So here two atoms of nitrogen is there and triple covalent bond is present between them. Sharing of electrons also takes place between different atoms. We'll take one example of water molecule. Formula of water is H2O. That means here one atom of oxygen and two atoms of hydrogen. As we know, atomic number of oxygen is 8, electronic configuration is 2, 6. Hydrogen is having only 1 electron. So to complete the duplet, hydrogen requires 1 more electron, and to complete the octet, oxygen requires 2 more electron. And so one oxygen atom which is having 6 electrons in its valence shell will share 1 electron of hydrogen, 2 hydrogen atoms, and by that these 2 hydrogen atoms can complete their duplet, and this oxygen atom can complete its octet by forming the covalent bond. And all these are what? Single covalent bond, because here 2 hydrogen atoms are sharing their 1 electron with the oxygen. So in this way all 3 atoms become stable and forms H2O, that is water molecule. So this is covalent bond formation. Now we'll see one more example of carbon compound, that is methane, having formula CH4. As we know, the carbon requires 4 electrons, and here the 4 electrons it shares with the 4 hydrogen atom to complete its octet. We know the valency of carbon is 4. To become stable, it requires 4 electron. So it shares 1 electron of 4 hydrogen atoms, forms single covalent bond, and this is called as methane. This methane is simplest carbon compound and it is used in biogas CNG, that is compressed natural gas. Now we'll discuss about another property of carbon, that is allotropy. Allotropy is the phenomenon of existence of an element in 2 or more forms having different physical properties but same chemical properties. So whenever a single element will exist in 2 or more form due to arrangement of atoms or in the same physical state, if 2 or more forms of same element is present, then those forms are called as allotropes, and this phenomena is called as allotropy. Carbon has 3 allotropes in solid state. See, in same physical state, same element, that is carbon, is having different forms, and those forms are called as allotropes. Allotropes of carbon are diamond, graphite and fullerene. All these are made up of carbon. So these are pure form of carbon. They have similar chemical properties. So allotropes are having similar chemical properties but different physical properties due to arrangement of carbon atoms. We'll discuss about diamond. See, diamond has rigid 3-dimensional structure. It is the hardest natural substance. It is in diamond, one carbon atom is bonded to 4 other carbon atoms, forming rigid 3-dimensional tetrahedral structure. Here we can see the structure of diamond atom, in which the carbon atoms, one carbon atom is attached to 4 different carbon atoms and forms tetrahedral structure. It is hardest substance, hardest natural substance. Carbon atoms are closely packed in the diamond, and so it is having high density. Diamond possesses number of covalent bond, and so having very high melting point. See, melting point is high because huge amount of energy is required to overcome the force of attraction. As in diamond, number of covalent bonds are there, carbon atoms are compactly packed, so its melting point is high. As there is no free electrons available, so diamond is what? Bad conductors or non-conductor of electricity. It is transparent and has high refractive index. Next is graphite. Graphite has two-dimensional layered structure. We can see the layers of graphite here. In graphite, each carbon atom is bonded to 3 other carbon atoms, giving hexagonal array. So here we can see the hexagonal array and layer structure of graphite. Graphite is soft and greasy. It is good conductor of heat and electricity. So we are using electrodes of battery which are made up of graphite. Our pencil lead is also made up of graphite. Layered structure is not having strong bonding between the layers. So as it is having layer structure, there is no strong bonding between the layers of graphite. Single layer of graphite is called as graphene, and so it is slippery and it is soft. It can be removed easily. So layers get removed easily. Both diamond and graphite is made up of carbon, but due to change in structure, their property, physical property changes, and according to their properties, we are using them for different purposes. Next is fullerene. Fullerenes are new form or class of carbon allotropes. They contain 60 to 350 carbon atoms. First one was C60, which had shape of football. As it looked like geodesic dome designed by US architect Buckminster Fuller, so this molecule was named as fullerene. It is used in nanoscience. Up to this we have seen covalent bond and allotropes of carbon. Now we will see some more properties of carbon, due to which carbon can form so many compounds with itself or other elements. The first property is catenation. See, catenation is what? Self-linking property of an element. If one element can link with other atom, one atom of element can link with other atom, then that is called as self-linking. Carbon has this unique property. The number of carbon atoms can link with each other and forms a large molecule, and this is called as catenation. These carbon compounds can form long chain, branch chain structure. So they can form long chain, they can form such branch chain structure, or even they can form ring structure also. So carbon can link in the form of ring structure also. So due to catenation, carbon can form different structure. It can form linear chain of carbon, branch chain, or cyclic structure. With this, carbon atoms may be linked by single covalent bond, double or triple covalent bond. We know what is single, double and triple covalent bond. So carbon can form number of structure due to this catenation property. Carbon compounds which are linked by single bond are called as saturated carbon compounds or saturated hydrocarbons. Carbon compounds which are linked by double or triple bond are called as unsaturated hydrocarbons. With carbon, silicon, phosphorus, sulfur, all these elements are also showing catenation, but the compounds are very reactive. Silicon forms compounds with the hydrogen which have chain of 7 to 8 atoms only. Phosphorus also can link with its own atom and form P4 molecule, sulfur acid molecule. But the bond between them is weak and so they are reactive. But in case of carbon, carbon-carbon bond is very strong. So carbon compounds are stable and so large number of carbon atoms can link with each other. And the compound which is formed, that is also stable enough. Second property or the reason for formation of large number of compound is valency of carbon. Carbon has valency of 4. That means it requires 4 more electrons. So it can share 4 electrons with the other carbon atom or with 4 atoms of other monovalent element. It can share electron with oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, chlorine, etc. These elements give specific properties to carbon compound. So if one element is attached to the carbon compound, to the carbon chain, then that element gives different properties to that particular compound and it gives rise to new carbon compound or new compound having different physical and chemical properties. So when these atoms of different element attach to carbon atoms, it forms new carbon compound. One more reason is bond formed by carbon is highly stable because of small size of carbon atoms. This we discuss. Due to small size of carbon atom, nucleus can strongly hold the shared pair of electrons. And so all these are the reasons that carbon is having huge number of carbon compounds. So this is all about properties of carbon. Thank you and have a nice day.